I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on.
Oh yes, my Straight Talk family. I must apologize. I must apologize profusely for that little technical glitch that we had here tonight. And it was my own problem. I found myself in the information, the IT underclass tonight, and I apologize for that. It cost us some time. I'll give it back to you, but I must say a very pleasant night, wherever you are, or greetings, I should say, to the world, because we are on the World Wide Web, and I say greetings, wherever you are. And for St. Kitts and Nevis, a very special night also to the entire Caribbean region, and welcome all to another edition of Straight Talk, which is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with the opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And I want to welcome the first-timers, and for those who continue to share the link, I say thank you, because we do get first-timers, and for the first-timers. And for our Straight Talk family that's always here, I want to reassure you that as your host, I pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. Yes. And I like these words from him. We are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. Let's seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. So my Straight Talk family, and in particular for the first-timers, absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. We don't try to make it more interesting, neither by omission nor by exaggeration. We are not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we lean on the facts, and I can assure you it is my bounden duty to present the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, especially when it comes to transparency and governance in St. Kitts and Nevis. And this program joins us together with people across our federation. Through this program, we are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. Some of you are in Africa, some of you are in Asia, some of you are in Europe, some of you are all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I will say good morning, and I will also say good afternoon. And my Straight Talk family, again, I do apologize for this tardy start. Again, please forgive me. Please forgive me. So I'll move right into, well, first of all, I must say how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing our praise together. And for the first time, as Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded, call in. The numbers are 663-6672 or 646-829-6672. There are those who like the cloak of anonymity, as I call it. So we give you access via our email platform, which is straighttalkpatches@gmail.com. Those of you who have the Alexa app as well, we're heard live on Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. And again, my Straight Talk family, if you find our show impactful and wish to support our efforts, consider making a donation. Your contribution will help us to continue these important discussions, to maintain our commitment to public service. And to donate, just simply scan the code on your screen to access the payment form. And I thank you in advance for your support and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive, my Straight Talk family. And that's something we have introduced. Many have asked for it, and I've heeded to your requests. Let me say a special welcome to my junior brigade, young Dwayne, Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, young Ru, Jamal, Travis, Travon, and that special lady in St. Louis. We usually begin with our observations in review, which are an integral part of Straight Talk. Then we move into my thesis. And my thesis for tonight, I have titled my Straight Talk family, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. And after my observations, like I say, we'll move into my thesis, following which we'll open the lines and entertain your calls, your emails, because on this program, you have your say. And my first observation, my Straight Talk family, I have a very interesting update. I have a very interesting update from the Royal St. Kitts and Nevis police force on the cocaine that was seized during a police raid. And Commissioner James Sutton has to date not provided any information whatsoever about this serious breach of public trust. But Straight Talk understands that an internal investigation revealed, hear this, an internal investigation revealed that the police only seized the gun and ammunition, but forgot to move the cocaine from the premises. Isn't that interesting, my Straight Talk family? So, no doubt you'll hear a release coming from the police, if it's not out, that the cocaine was never in police custody. But that's not so, because they seized it at the property. My Straight Talk family, for that reason, look out for a release from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force that would declare that cocaine was never in police custody. But it moved me to this point I raised some weeks ago on this very forum, that two members of this specialized unit failed to submit to a polygraph test. And according to Commissioner of Police James Sutton, these two officers were reassigned. Remember, he said this to the nation.
With regards to the polygraph testing, we were doing some testing recently of our specialized unit, and a number of persons opted not to be vetted, and some internal decisions were taken with regards to those persons.
Can you clarify what those decisions were?
They have been reassigned to elsewhere.
So a number of persons, according to Commissioner Sutton, refused to be vetted, to be tested. And what happened next? They were reassigned. But my straight talk family, I must go back to what I call this clear double standards in the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. As the officer who was recently appointed to head that same specialized unit, as it's referred to, had earlier failed 2 polygraph tests, one locally and one overseas. Yet he was promoted to superintendent, but the junior ranks in the specialized units were reassigned. Commissioner Sutton, I know that this superintendent is in charge of the Prime Minister's security. And it was the Prime Minister who made that political appointment, even though this officer failed the 2 polygraph tests. But do believe Commissioner Sutton, do you believe that the unit forgot the drugs in the house, as was gleaned from your internal investigation? But it was a political appointment by the Prime Minister in total contravention of the Police Act. So why didn't you resign or refuse to carry out that instruction to appoint that officer to the rank of superintendent, Mr. Commissioner, and keep your reputation intact? Now, your integrity is under scrutiny. So let us wait from for the report rather, from the police, which would say that they never had the drugs in their possession. Very interesting story, my straight dog family. So the last word comes from, or will come from, Commissioner of Police James Sutton. My second observation, my straight dog family, brings to the attention of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular, a serious situation within the Electoral office in St. Kitts, which for some months, my straight dog family, for some months, the Electoral office in St. Kitts is being operated by the Supervisor of Elections, Oakland Peets, who is acting, we are told, like a one-armed bandit in that office. And you know those one-armed bandits, my straight dog family. There's an antique one on your screen. The manager of the Electoral office, Miss Warner, has retired. And the Supervisor of Elections, Peets, is apparently carrying out her functions. And my straight dog family, this brings me to the comment made by Prime Minister Dr. July, who said that elections in St. Kitts and Nevis are easily bought. Remember he said this, my straight dog family.
The election in St. Kitts and Nevis, whether you believe it or not, can be bought. It is not too expensive for a rich person to buy an election in St. Kitts and Nevis. This election has proven that.
Elections, or the last elections, according to the Prime Minister, was bought. Well, the July Labour Party is now in government. And Prime Minister July appointed the current supervisor of elections, Mr. Peets, who it is reliably rumored is operating the office, like I said, like a one-armed bandit, as he implements changes that are even contrary to the law. I'm sure those of you who've been to a casino are familiar with these one-armed bandits, we call them, or the slot machines that are operated by a single handle, known for stealing money from losing players. You can never win in a casino playing that slot machine, or as we call them, that one-armed bandit that only steals. So my straight talk family, the question that arises is with no replacement for the manager of the electoral office, Ms. Warner, who has retired, we are told, almost 1 year ago. It is reliably rumored that the supervisor of elections continues to make willy-nilly changes. And as stated earlier, the supervisor of elections, Oakland Peets, is managing the electoral office like a one-armed bandit. Just like this one-armed bandit you can see on the screen. So my straight talk family, Dr. July bought the last elections in August 2022. Is Dr. July now planning to steal the next elections? And this is a pertinent question. Thus, for those of the parties who are engaged and will be indulged in the electoral process, it must be imperative that we all keep an eye on the one-armed bandit in the electoral office. We will continue to follow that story, my straight talk family. Now, the site designated for the smart or climate smart hospital has been cleared on more than one occasion. And this is my third observation. And it has thus become necessary to ask Ambassador Leonato a few questions publicly. 1, do you have oversight for this hospital project, Ambassador Nato? 2, what is your relationship with Mr. Shari? Or what is the relationship between Mr. Shari and yourself, Ambassador Nato? Is he your friend or is he your personal bodyguard? Does Mr. Shari possess a business license and or own heavy equipment? Ambassador. And the final question we asked publicly to Ambassador Leonato, who we understand has oversight for the climate smart or smart hospital, whichever it is. And the final question is Mr. Shari subcontracting heavy equipment from Iron and others who own trucks and tobacco As we said, this Mr. Shari has no business license, neither does he own any equipment. And you are free to contact Straight Talk privately, Ambassador Nato, for any clarification so that you can verify the information in our possession. We do have some more information in our possession, but I give you the right of refusal to contact Straight Talk privately, Ambassador Nato. And our fourth observation, and perhaps our final one, relates to a matter we brought to your attention last week, to what seemed like a mix-up in respect of the distribution or lack thereof pepper seeds to farmers. Remember, we brought you this information, my Straight Talk family.
Why is it there is no seasoning peppers on the market of St. Kitts? For example, December of last year, Agriculture Department bring a bulldozer up on Milan, start to clean Milan and can't finish it. When they was cleaning Milan, over 5,000 seasoning pepper seedlings was in a nursery. A lot of things going on, right? And what percent of the 25 by 25 have the farmers achieved? Have the Prime Minister met with the farmers since he been Prime Minister? Is that thing we need to know, because this is the hurtful thing in the country right now. No seasoning peppers on the island when it should have been flooded. Seasoning peppers should have been leaving St. Kitts. The disgrace, total disgrace.
And yes, my Straight Talk family, that passionate farmer, Koshroy, as he said, it's a disgrace, my Straight Talk family. And remember, my Straight Talk family, we brought to your attention that our Prime Minister, who obviously believes, like his cabinet colleagues, that his job is to go gallivanting around the globe. Remember, we showed you our PowerPoint with his visits to a Tabasco pepper farm in Louisiana. But local farmers have no seeds to plant seasoning peppers. Seasoning peppers are always in high demand in St. Kitts, my Straight Talk family. But there's a bigger picture I bring to your attention called Vision 25% by 2025, which is a long-term social and economic partnership between member states of CARICOM, the regional private sector, regional organizations, producer groups, development partners, and civil society. It outlines actions and critical areas of intervention to tackle the region's rising food import bill, improve intra-regional trade, and create wealth and economic opportunity for CARICOM member states. The vision of the Minister of Agriculture, Samuel Duggins, on CARICOM's 25% by 2025 was to ensure that $50 million, yes, $50 million go to the farmers and other stakeholders in agriculture. And this was his vision he outlined 2 years ago, my Straight Talk family.
As I look around the room, I see stakeholders from different sectors. Some of you farmers, some of you bishopfolk, some of you representing agencies that do research, some of you representing universities, some of you representing businesses that all thrive on the basis of agriculture. And if we take the time to understand that, we get down to the importance of why we're here today. And as we stand here today, talking about CARICOM's 25 by 2025 agenda, our food bill stands at $190+ million. And if we do a simple mathematical equation, we recognize that 25% of that is somewhere near 50 million. And the essence of what we are here discussing today is how we can share $50 million amongst all. My job as the Minister of Agriculture is to ensure that that $50 million is going to you.
An ambitious vision, my Straight Talk family. But we ask Minister Samuel Duggins tonight, what is the current disposition of your vision? Will the Ministry of Agriculture ever achieve its targets? What about the medical cannabis industry, Minister Duggins? You promised us that there would be money growing on trees, my Straight Talk family. Now, 2 years ago, you promised this.
Marijuana industry, as we have heard, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And we have been dragging at a snail's pace in getting involved. And I could not understand for the life of me why. Literally growing money on trees. But yet somehow, we don't want to participate. But I dare say, that era is over. And it's now a new day. And a better way. So in 2023, expect a vibrant, thriving marijuana industry. Literally growing money on trees.
My Straight Talk family, in 2022, Samuel Duggins promised that money would be literally growing on trees in 2023. It is now 2024. But Samuel Duggins laughed in the process because to him, it must have been a big joke. But these are serious times, my Straight Talk family. And Kittitians-Nevisians, we need serious leaders. What we have is a team of ill-prepared, self-proclaimed expert leaders who prioritize politics and make big pronouncements without any implementation whatsoever. But those are my observations in review for tonight, my Straight Talk family, and their stories, obviously, we will continue to follow. My thesis, as I mentioned earlier, and for those who may have just joined me, again, I apologize for my late or tardy start. But I've titled my thesis, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. My Straight Talk family, the distrust of the pronouncements of our current politicians in government is endemic. It is so widespread that it is unbelievable, my Straight Talk family. The distrust is widespread amongst the population of St. Kitts-Nevis. That is well over 50,000 persons, as reported just a few months ago by Cabinet Secretary Dr. Marcus Nato, who reported this on the population.
The estimated population of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis for 2022 is 51,320 persons, marking an 8.7% increase over the 2011 census count of 47,195 persons. This reflects an increase of 4,125 persons over the 11-year period, averaging an annual increase of 0.76% during the intercensal period. The island of St. Kitts is home to 38,138 persons, accounting for 74% of the federal population, while Nevis, with 13,182 persons, comprises the remaining 26%.
Have you got that, my Straight Talk family? A population of 51,320 persons. And this only considers those of us living here in the Federation. And we recently learned that more than 50,000 passports were sold under our CVI program. For one project alone, according to Dr. July 20, 52,000 passports were sold. And July must know, because Straight Talk has confirmed that he in fact signed over 90% of the certificates of registration. But he reported this about passports sold under the CBI.
Speaker, I can say we are over 50,000 of passports issued. The number of passports issued is possibly as much as the population at this particular time, or could be a little higher. You have to tell the truth. The people deserve to know the truth. It is a hard truth, but it is the truth. The mismanagement of the program has seen us today have more citizens, very likely more citizens by investment, in our own population here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I do apologize for that low audio, my Straight Talk family. But as you would have heard, the Prime Minister reporting that we have more citizens outside who are citizens by investment. Over 50,000 passports, he said, were issued. So it is as if we are stuck in the 50,000s, my Straight Talk family. Because strange but true, the statistics provided by the supervisor of election, or I should say the then supervisor of election, Elvin Bailey, that 50,933 persons of St. Kitts-Nevis were registered to vote in the August 5th elections in 2022. My Straight Talk family, believe it or not, this is what he said.
The voters list, therefore, as currently configured, contains 38,015 voters in St. Kitts. That's 38015 voters in St. Kitts, and 12,918 voters in Nevis. That's 12918, for a total of 50,933 voters. That's 50933.
That's what you heard, my Straight Talk family. We are stuck in the 50s. And to ensure that you have absorbed those statistics I presented, I therefore repeat. The St. Kitts-Nevis population, 51,150 persons, my Straight Talk family. In August 2022, before the last election, 50,933 persons were registered. And recently, Dr. July reported that over 50,000 passports were sold under our CBI program, more than our population. But while those numbers are for the statisticians, if we take a poll on St. Kitts-Nevis today, it will confirm one thing, that people from all walks of life and from all generations will be singing one chorus. That is, under this July Labour government, things are hard. Some will even go further and confess that it is worse, it is the worst they have ever experienced in this country in their entire lifetime. There's so many people have told me that story, my Straight Talk family. It's the worst they've ever experienced in their entire lifetime living in St. Kitts. For single mothers, it is tough. One single mother cried out to Prime Minister July publicly and told him of her rough times, my straight dog family. One single mother said this.
You know, I think, you know, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. It's ridiculous, Mr. Prime Minister, and we really need a help, especially for single parents. We do have a rough time.
My straight dog family, some citizens have already become afraid to grow old under this July administration, as a common cry among seniors is life is not easy. My straight dog family, life is not easy.
It is not EASY. It is not easy. And do not be fooled. Do not let no nice show and no nice thing fool you. The $500 from the PAP, it is so helpful. It come in so handy.
And that was then my straight dog family. So it's worse, because the $500 in some cases have been reduced to nil, zip, zero, nada, and some to $250. Life is not easy under this July administration. Some children have left school and still don't have a clue how they performed, my straight dog family. The Caribbean Examinations Council has not provided any reason why students had not received the results of the May to June 2024 examinations. You've heard they have just been received. But students face a challenge with ungraded subjects and outstanding results. If they have been received, like we just heard, then the slow student and Minister of Education ought to come to the public and let the public know what's going on. Because some students cannot get final acceptance to the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, for example, and are in a catch-2 dilemma. Some who have graduated from CFBC cannot find jobs, even with their associate degree qualifications. It's like everything that can go wrong is going wrong in St. Kitts and Nevis. What should be going down is going up. And what should be going up is going down. My straight dog family. Everyone is crying out for help. Boys, girls, men, women. They are all crying out for help. Children are shouting the same refrain. Things are bad under Dr. July Labour. Well, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. Businesses are closing as the economy is stagnant, is dead, and jobs are not available. The July Labour government, instead of finding some kind of stimulus for the economy that would give businesses a lifeline and help to create jobs, it is using one of its financial arms, the Inland Revenue Department, to kill the very businesses that the country needs to survive. Many were baffled, my straight dog family, when a local businessman told his story about the Inland Revenue Department. This businessman of 40 years, in a recent press conference, told his story of the IRD scooping into the files of Liburd International Trading Company Limited, and later demanded payment for almost $500,000 in back taxes, my straight dog family. This businessman reported this at his press conference.
Limited. Approximately 40 years. Sorry for that.
I do apologize, my Straight Talk family, for that video. I will get back to it. But this businessman...
I don't want to see big. Lock the phone off completely. President didn't start. Go right out.
I do apologize, my Straight Talk family, for that glitch with that video. But this businessman complained that he has been demanded, the IRD has demanded payment of $500,000, my Straight Talk family, in back taxes. But the same government, at the same time, my Straight Talk family, is trying to conspire ways to defraud St. Kitts-Nevis and the St. Kitts-Nevis-Anguilla National Bank in order to forgive the debt of a foreign pirate who has so far robbed the country, including the bank, of $130 million. This foreign pirate enticed the Douglas Labour government by promising to put $17 billion into the St. Kitts-Nevis economy. And don't forget that in 2006, the Douglas Labour administration went into Parliament and acquired 852 acres of land at Majors Bay, which was owned by a private citizen. The land was then transferred to this private developer, Obage, Fire Sky Limited, for the development of 2 5-star hotels and a golf course. Forthwith was the language used. It is now 18 years thereafter. 18 years since and counting, since this foreign piracy began, which was referred to, my Straight Talk family, it was referred to as being magical. Do you believe that, my Straight Talk family? Magical was the term used.
Christoph Harbor is 2,500 acres of land. We've got 13 miles of shoreline with the property, 6 beaches, of which I would argue that at least 3 of the 6 beaches are in the top 10 beaches in the Caribbean, which I think says a lot about the natural beauty.
And my Straight Talk family, yeah, it's magic. My Straight Talk family, our country is divided. And the vision of our leaders are miles apart, with those in office continuing to slice and dice Kittitians-Nevisians. Instead of being a prime minister of all the people, Dr. July is someone who promotes clear policies of victimization of those perceived to be opponents of labor. But even within his own party, my Straight Talk family, there is a division. And that should be no surprise, I should say, to us. As in his race for the party leadership, he failed to attract the majority of the votes. The way he wrangled, my Straight Talk family, the way he wrangled the leadership from his predecessor, Dennis Douglas, also came to the public light.
What is disrespectful to me is that people want me to go and contest with them. I am not contesting with anyone. It has never happened in our party before. For the 90 years of the party, no leader has been challenged in that way. And it is not going to start with me. If people can say that they would want me to support in that way for the extra 6 months, then I prefer not to be there. And so I ask you to consider what I have said. I wanted to clarify this matter because I think it is totally disrespectful when people are saying, oh, Douglas must go. Douglas wants to stay here forever. This is what is being said by our own comrades around. And I feel very, very disrespected when people will make statements of that kind. Of course, you can say you don't want Douglas. You can have someone else. But to say that I want to stay here forever and I must go on that kind of nonsense, I feel disrespected because I don't think it is necessary and I don't think it is true at all.
He wrangled the leadership. But remember, my Straight Talk family, Dr. July got 48%. The so-called engineer Congress got 45%. Yet July selected the slow student Jeffrey as his deputy prime minister, who only got 7% of the party's popular vote. Further, examine the collusion of Dr. July and Garth Lucifer Wilkin with the French criminal Philippe Martinez, who included Denzel Douglas in his RICO lawsuit. This too can provide answers about the division in labor.
Some people have taken this too far, and in taking it that far, they are destroying the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis. They are destroying St. Kitts and Nevis on a whole. Because even though we may not have been perfect in what we do, at least what is the alternative to the Citizenship by Investment program as we try to diversify the economy here in St. Kitts and Nevis? All those schools that have been built and repaired, all those houses that we can boast of.
My Straight Talk family, how could Denzel Douglas forget the insidious attempt by Garth Lucifer Wilkin to tarnish his name and character? My Straight Talk family, Lucifer said this about Douglas.
How can people be confident that a government led by an individual who actually said, we need to stop the corruption, we need to stop the bleeding, we need to have integrity in public life. And that was one of the reasons why a younger Dr. Douglas was elected. 20 years later, the Integrity in Public Life Act is passed, not activated. 20 years is a long time. How can you convince people that in 5 years, for example, if the election is 5 years in 2020, how can you convince people that that 5 years of reflection will change his ideas?
My Straight Talk family, he's now in the cabinet with Douglas. Just last week, Dr. July promised to investigate the SIDF. But it was the cabinet of Denzel Douglas that approved this new component of the CBI in 2006. My Straight Talk family.
I remember well what it was like when, as Prime Minister, I recognized that we would have to chart a stable and sustainable path forward once it became clear that the sugar agricultural economy and country could no longer be the mainstay of St. Kitts and Nevis. Those were quite tumultuous times globally. But I was determined to put in place the policies and the guardrails to ensure that, firstly, we established new avenues of economic activity and growth, whilst ensuring, secondly, that there was zero social upheaval, zero political instability, and zero domestic tumult. In fact, it is because of those concerns that we created what has now become famous as the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, the SIDF.
My Straight Talk family, ask yourselves the question: is Dr. July attempting to investigate the SIDF, as you said?
The other issue we're going to discuss later is the SIDF, because the SIDF itself as a fund had money in it that we are doing an assessment for.
So who is he going to investigate? Or what? The SIDF? Or is Dr. July about to investigate Denzel Douglas? Because unless Dr. July is daft, and most people think he is, because July ought to know that it was the third Prime Minister, Timothy Harris, who ensured that the SIDF money went into the consolidated fund for the first time. My Straight Talk family, the grave missteps of the July government over the past 26 months have also created a sudden decline in our economy and an attendant decline in the standard of living for all of us in St. Kitts and Nevis. One would think that investors that he said were waiting on labor would have already created or already helped to create the much needed jobs within the economy. But instead, my Straight Talk family, of trying to improve the lives of citizens through sustainable investment, he prescribed what I call the Coney Island pill to help to deal with the stress of the poor and most vulnerable in our country, as mentioned by this.
Coney Island, look at the massive crowd they had, a success, a joy for the children, for the youth, an entertainment for the people of St. Kitts, a different atmosphere, some place that they can release their stress, children can find some joy of the agony that they are going through in their country by whatever reason.
Agony for whatever reason. The reason for stress is a result of the failed policies of the July maladministration. An inefficient, dishonest, and corrupt administration that lacks transparency and accountability. Not worthy to be called honorable. But Coney Island has gone. So how must poor people deal with the stress caused by the failed policies of Dr. July? The failure of this government to accept the worldwide concept that government is continuous, my Straight Talk family, led to the abandonment of the construction of the new Bastia High School, a shovel-ready project, my Straight Talk family. No one can dispute that.
There was a shovel-ready project, which is the Bastia High School. The project had already, the plans had already been done, the impact studies had already done, but you choose to shelf it. Today, the ordinary man, construction workers, instead of having the tools rusting, could have been there working. People could have been earning money at the Bastia High School. And why it was shut down? Because of politics. It had nothing to do with the water situation. So we got to be careful. It's politics why the country is stagnant. As a matter of fact, since it changed the government, I am involved in construction. I haven't worked for the year. The country is stagnant, actually maybe in reverse. It ain't got nothing to do with the farm administration. It is, I think, it's because of incompetence why we are facing the situation that we are facing.
And because of this politics and incompetence, according to the citizen, the cost to the country was over $20 million, which covered the preparation and acceptance of the EIA by the Development Control and Planning Board, and its subsequent approval of the design and construction plans for the new school, which the city, slow student Jeffrey Hanley, promised to tweak the plans, remember, as he wanted to avoid reinventing the wheel. All this was done in face of the fact that the slow student lives, if he still does, approximately 50 yards from where the Bastille High School was going to be constructed, was going to be built. On the aquifer, he said. So to his neighbors, my Straight Talk family, they all live there. Furthermore, my Straight Talk family, 5 water engineers, including the current manager and water engineer Cromwell Williams, declared to the whole of the St. Kitts and Nevis and the world that construction of the Bastille High School on the area selected posed no threat, my Straight Talk family, no danger whatsoever to the aquifer. This is what he said.
Our advice to the cabinet was that, given that the Ponds Estate site is at least 1,000 feet downstream of the closest well, which is designated well 148, and furthermore is in an area of the Bastille Valley which was never used for potable water extraction and is very unlikely to be used for potable water extraction, coupled with the use of modern wastewater technology, this site does not present a danger to the potable water supply.
My Straight Talk family, the manager and water engineer, Cromwell Williams, I know him. We worked together. I know him as a consummate professional and trained hydrogeologist. And he did not hesitate to put science before any politics, my Straight Talk family.
I was privileged, as I said, to have served as the manager and water engineer for about 12 years, from 2001 to 2013. That means that while I wore that cap, I was responsible for the water that you consumed to ensure that it is safe. When I made my presentation, a colleague of mine said, "Good presentation, but you no longer speak for the water department." I am assuring you that he was dead wrong. I still speak for the water department because I'm a trained hydrogeologist. As long as I'm alive, I will protect the water resources of St. Kitts-Nevis. Having said that, science must prevail, and let science do its job. Thank you.
Well, politics prevailed over science. We were afraid because a slow student has led the move not to build that Bastille High School. $20 million gone down the drain. So too we have the poor decision to frustrate the solar farm project, which is now costing more money to rent generators at the price of $10.5 million per day, my Straight Talk family.
The government staunchly committed to continuously improving the quality of life for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular in St. Kitts through access to reliable electricity, has guaranteed full financial absorption of all costs associated with this 12-month Skelec Agreco 6-megawatt rental agreement to the tune of approximately $10.5 million.
$10.5 million, my Straight Talk family. The incompetence of the so-called engineer Congress, and by extension, Dr. July and his entire cabinet, has cost the government millions of dollars that is not available at the treasury. It would cost US $40 million for 2 9-megawatt generators. That would take 3 years, or just about, to be delivered. Once all design specifications are agreed upon by Skelec and the suppliers, my Straight Talk family.
In fact, the solar project along with the battery, is intended to supply about 12 to 14 hours of baseload power per day. This then means that the other 10 to 12 hours a day must be supplied fully by the fixed generation capacity at the power plant. To address the woefully inadequate generation capacity at the power plant, the government, through the Ministry of Public Utilities, which I lead, has secured a USD 40 million concessionary funding from the Saudi Fund for Development toward the procurement, construction, and operation of an 18 megawatt dual fuel power plant coupled with battery energy storage system. As Jonathan mentioned. The agreement has been signed and the work progresses towards all necessary procurement with expected completion in another 24 to 30 months.
My Straight Talk family, 12 to 14 hours supplied by the base load from the solar farm is the peak hours. The other 12 hours, as he said, you won't want 80 megawatts. The peak period runs from 6 to 8 in the morning. Everybody's at home. Everybody has everything doing. Washing, looking at television. The other hours, they're out to work. You don't need that peak. There's no peak. But instead of spending on much needed infrastructure, we move on here in my Straight Dog family. Much infrastructural rehabilitation of the JNF. The incompetent Minister of Health has embarked upon a project to spend $23 million US, he said in the first instance. 1 year later, Dr. July announced it moved to $150 million.
We are looking forward to the construction of that hospital. With everything, we are estimating that it will cost us about $150 million. So that is on its way. And I want to thank OECC, which is a company owned by Taiwan, who is leading on this project. And of course, they would have others with them, but they are the lead on this one. And so
$150 million, as I mentioned before, my Straight Dog family, on a hospital for rich people and animals. My Straight Dog family, Dr. July informed us that he signed an MOU. He signed an MOU, my Straight Dog family, with the Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine. He said this.
How are you dealing with it from an environmental standpoint? So all of us need to be at the table, and St. Kitts and Nevis will create this One Health concept, and we are building towards it. We have already signed an MOU with Ross University School of Medicine to implement the One Health approach.
But he lied, my Straight Talk family, because there's no Ross University School of Medicine in St. Kitts, because the university is in Barbados, my Straight Talk family. It is in Barbados.
Saturday, January 5th, 2019 marked a milestone for medical education in Barbados. It was the official launch of the Ross University School of Medicine at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center.
I am Kerry James, Vice President of Operations for Ross University School of Medicine, and I am so pleased today to be here celebrating our grand opening in Barbados.
My Straight Dog family, the Ross University School of Medicine relocated from Dominica to Barbados in 2019 following the storm that devastated Dominica. So if July has really signed an MOU, my Straight Dog family, he has signed it with the Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine, my Straight Dog family. And this university focuses, as I said, on animals. On animals, my Straight Dog family. So why couldn't Dr. July invest in JNF, General Hospital, as was done in Barbados, my Straight Dog family? The Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which was built just 3 years before our JNF. But my Straight Dog family, why or while discussions or conversations have taken place over the past 18 years in Barbados about constructing a new state-of-the-art hospital, it is difficult to rationalize spending $150 million in St. Kitts-Nevis on a smaller facility, meaning with a lower bed capacity for human, animal, plant, and environmental health, my Straight Dog family. And according to July, it's in promotion of the One Health concept, my Straight Dog family, bringing everybody together, as he said.
Concept of One Health. Why do you think we are building the hospital where we are building it? There's a vet school, a medical school, human health in the hospital. We are going to build a lab that brings everybody together.
And my Straight Dog family, we have an incumbent administration that has been in office for 2 years. Over 2 years. Yet we cannot identify a clear policy direction of its leadership. Yet these are some difficult times, my Straight Dog family. And there seems to be no hope in sight under this incompetent, corrupt administration that is not accountable to the people and lacks integrity, my Straight Dog family. And they are overwhelmed. Not only lack integrity, but they lack transparency. And sad, they are overwhelmed, as one of them confessed.
Sometimes the responsibilities of leadership can be heavy. A lot of times, if I can be completely transparent, the responsibilities of leadership sometimes can be overwhelming, it can be heavy, and sometimes you question, yes.
But my Straight Dog family, in times like these, in what is considered, my Straight Dog family, what is considered national distress, effective leadership is paramount. The inconsistent application of the rule of law exacerbates the crisis, leaving citizens feeling marginalized and helpless. It started with July's very first appointment or nomination of this individual, my Straight Dog family.
But AG is a punk. That's the main reason you see me do this video, yeah. Just to let you know directly, he is a punk. You hear? He is a punk with a capital P, AG. You hear?
And that was his first appointment, my Straight Dog family. An Attorney General must be someone who ensures that everyone is equal under the law. How can Garth Lucifer Wilkin ensure? How can he ensure that when he himself breaks the law? Justice must be perceived as equitable and impartial, addressing systemic corruption and ensuring that all citizens are held to the same legal standards are essential for restoring faith in government institutions, my Straight Talk family. This can be achieved through transparency initiatives and independent oversight bodies. Straight Talk, my family, we have gone not even in depth into safety and security. We have not even gone in depth, I should say, into safety and security, or the frightening topic of crime and violence, which has put St. Kitts-Nevis under July back into the race to become once again, under another Labour government, the murder capital of the world. The increasing crime reflects deeper social issues, including poverty, lack of education, and insufficient mental health resources. A multifaceted approach that combines community policing, social programs, and rehabilitation initiatives is crucial to restoring safety and trust within communities. But it's the economic instability that occupies the minds of our people most. The rising cost of food is not merely an economic issue, but a social one, directly impacting the quality of life for many, my Straight Talk family. Inadequate agricultural policies and inflationary pressures must be addressed through strategic investments in local agriculture and support for vulnerable communities. Success is not promised to any one of us in life, and hardship is something that we cannot avoid. It is not a promise or a guarantee that we can find success, but the government must provide opportunities. But the wrong things are going up under July, and the right things are going down. Yes, the negative trends are increasing, while positive outcomes are declining. Crime rates are rising, cost of living, like food prices, are increasing, or other negative societal indicators. Issues such as violence or poverty that should be decreasing are instead worsening. Positive factors such as public safety, economic stability, or access to essential services are diminishing. Instead of improvements in quality of life, society is experiencing a decline in these crucial areas. The future of St. Kitts-Nevis is at stake, and it is in our hands. And we must protect the future of our children, our grandchildren, and their children to come. You don't have to agree with everything that the third Prime Minister did, but we must accept that under Timothy Harris there was peace, there was prosperity, and hope for the future of this country. Under his leadership, we made progress. Timothy Harris bought back 4 of 500 acres of land, which was swapped for debt by his predecessor, the second Prime Minister, Denzel Douglas, and which the fourth Prime Minister, Dr. July, is failing to distribute to people in an equitable manner. But 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong when it has been proven that it is this incompetent bunch of self-proclaimed experts that has caused all of the problems we are facing. Investors, he said, waited on them. Where are the investors? When asked about the 2,400 houses and other capital projects, all Dr. July said is that they are on the way, my Straight Talk family. Where are the projects? He said this.
So capital project, I will say, let me go through them for you, if you don't mind. Smart homes, on their way. right, on the way. The hospital, on the way as well. The school, on the way as well. The solar plant or solar farm, on the way as well. There are some others I will mention, not yet, but they are definitely coming on the way. We have about 2 other major investments. One will be an agriculture major investment that will also come. We have an investment for the port, airport, that is advancing significantly as well. I'm saying that when, in the next few months, I'm almost certain that we'll run out of construction workers here.
Get ready to do some construction work, my Street Dog family. But hear this. Brian Singh of East Coast Housing Development disappeared for several months after constructing 2 of the 600 houses for 2023. Brian Singh has now resurfaced with a Chinese man and his own equipment, which can be procured locally. All of a sudden, Brian Singh is back on the scene, my Street Dog family. The country is thus forced to speculate that the 2 model houses were approved, my Street Dog family. Meanwhile, one individual who is considered bankable found herself on the cost-prohibitive end of an additional $9,900, now payable on a one-bedroom house, my Street Dog family. Moving overall construction of the house to $122,000. So this housing project, my Straight Dog family, is fraught with problems from the start and is surely not for the poor who need housing most, my Straight Dog family. It's considered a rip-off even by those who are deemed bankable. But my Straight Dog family, the way forward requires a comprehensive strategy that addresses the underlying issues contributing to the national quandary. Leaders must prioritize economic stability, public safety, and justice reform while fostering open dialogue with citizens, my Straight Dog family. By engaging the population in policy-making processes and ensuring that governance is transparent and accountable, the country can rebuild trust and move towards a more equitable future, my Straight Dog family. The whole federation is saying that things are bad, and it won't get any better under Garth, Lucifer Wilkin, and Terence Michael Drew. And those of you, my Straight Dog family, in the diaspora, especially in the US, you won't escape this zealous, power-drunk Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin, as he declared that he would get you as well. Remember, he said this.
I know they have Kittitians-Nevisians living in the States who believe because the States allow you to say anything they want, they could say anything they want. Stay up there. Come out of our internet. Right? If you do that, we can send an MLAT to the US. We could find you, we could prosecute you, and we could get you extradited to St. Kitts to face charges.
My Straight Dog family, under the leadership of Dr. July, we are on the wrong road. And if we want to progress, then we must make an about turn and walk back to the right road. There is a sense of frustration with the state of affairs, indicating a misalignment between what should ideally improve and what is actually happening. I know that many of you are suffering from buyer's remorse and regret that you voted for this July government. But this is not the time to be sorry. It is the time to be proactive. My Straight Talk family, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. I always like to implore you, though, before I open the lines, that I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendship. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And my Straight Talk family, in saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. And don't you worry, I'll give you back the time because I started a little late, so we'll give you back your time, callers and emailers. Don't you worry. Let's go to the lines at 9:33. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear.
The quotation. People should not be afraid of the government. Government should be afraid of the people. I repeat, people should not be afraid of the government. Government should be afraid of the people. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Have yourself a great evening as well. People should not be afraid of the government. Government should be afraid of the people. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
I'm there.
How are you, my brother? You are alive.
Yes, good night.
Good night, sir.
Now, you read the word of God, Patrick?
You mean your homework?
No.
Isaiah chapter 59?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Now, where you get out there?
I know you come tonight, right? I spoke about the sin, the justice, and God's response to the moral spiritual state of Israel. You remember that?
I'm glad you read that passage.
Yes, I did.
I didn't. It take a lot of time for me to explain it. I'm glad you read it.
Yes, I did. It spoke of the consequences of sin, my brother.
The situation is it. I know you tarry long. And so I am not going to keep you too long on the phone.
Okay.
Now, let me. I got Psalm Proverbs chapter 22 verse 13 somewhere. But let me encourage somebody and straight talk. I am not going to be too long. Hear the word of the Lord. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High
shall abide
under the shadow of thy mighty.
Yes.
Hear what God say. I was young.
No.
Now I'm old. Psalm 37, verse 25. I was young. Now I'm old. I neither see the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters tonight who are listening to me and who are born again, you not got to worry. God is in your making. So encourage yourself in the Lord, and He shall give you your desire of your heart. Psalm 37, Psalm 34, Psalm 41. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor. So, Patches, I am going to tell you what the word of God said. You know how to hold your head, Mr. Patches. Isaiah 54. No weapon
formed against you
that form against thee shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against thee in judgment shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servant of the Lord, and the righteousness of me, said the Lord. That let me have a whole eight. I could give you Isaiah 59.
Okay.
I could give you Isaiah 56.
Mm-hmm.
I could give you 1 Timothy chapter 3.
Okay.
I could give you the whole of the ordinance.
Thanks a lot.
So when God called a man, he put him to do God. When called Saul, he tell him what to do.
Okay.
I am not going to sit too long, so see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. That's the Bible man. We always welcome what I call your spiritual interventions. I'll juggle the emails as well and the calls. Lawyer Agatha James reads this email. I was very disappointed last week to hear you diminishing the importance of Pastor Lincoln Hazel's contribution. The pastor is correct when he claimed that a lawyer's primary purpose is to make and extract money from their clients and not putting up a robust fight to win their clients' cases. Mrs. James, articulate and defend yourself and not the impotent bar association or the legal fraternity. A few months ago, when I don't think I should read that, my straight talk family. You don't got to get too personal here. This other email reads, a pleasant good evening, Mr. Liburd. Reads this email. Patches, if Dr. July and Lucifer want to show us transparency, let them go into the house, change the laws that will make all civil servants avail themselves for polygraphs. Failure will mean termination and loss of all benefits. It will take effect January 1st, 2025. And civil servants mean immigration, customs, coast guard, police, and army. Let us see them do that. Then we will ease up the pressure, hold them warrior from the east. Read this email. Let's go back to the lines. Thank you for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Patches.
Hello.
Patches. This is Major.
Yes, Major. Major, good night.
How are you?
I am peaceful.
How are you?
I am peaceful.
Well, I'm trying to be peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be peaceful. But I just want to share something here with you. And you see, somebody sent it to me, and I've been weighing it all the time. I put it on the scale, and I find that it sounds good. So I thought I should share it with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You listening? Say, listening to me. Listening. Sometimes the best lesson in life are learned through prayer, through pain, tears, and a lot of prayer. You listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening, Major.
We never grow old without walking through a few valleys, trials, and storms. But in the trials, we grow stronger in faith. But as we navigate this journey we call life, everything will be all right. How it sound?
Sound speech.
Yeah, because the journey, look at the journey is rough, but we can't lie down and take with that like a sheep. We can't lie down and take with that like a sheep. We have to set up ourselves and get things organized.
Stand up, yes.
Yeah, the journey is rough. The journey is rough now. And you find that this is a friend who said this all the way for me. And I say, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you, Thesis.
Thanks you.
Because we have to learn through pains and tears and a lot of prayer. We have to pray. We have to pray. There's no use, sir. We have to pray. And that's the reason why I've said that we have to grow, and we have to grow without walking through a few valleys. Trials and storms, we got some storms, trials and storms. But we have to get stronger in faith. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Major, on that. Yes, and we must, as the first caller gave us our quotation, we must also not be afraid of the government. People should not be afraid of the government. Government should be afraid of the people. Yes, there will be pains, there will be tribulations, yes, but we have to stand up for what is right. The Prime Minister and the Premier reads this email. Really think some people in this country are stupid and forgetful. In response to a question about the fair share, the Prime Minister said that the matter of fair share has not been worked out as yet. It's because there was a change in the leadership of the World Bank. Change of leadership has nothing to do with such a simple matter. It was Mark who said any college student at the CFBC could easily work out that. Sometime after the Premier said he and the Prime Minister was scheduled to meet to discuss the fair share, but he has gone to a meeting in Antigua, and as soon as he comes back, they will meet to discuss the fair share. The Prime Minister has returned weeks ago and nothing has happened. Let them continue to play games with us. Reads this email. Mr. Deputy Jeffrey, I spoke to you so long ago about that bad, deplorable road in Pond's pasture leading from the old Simako straight up to the garment factory. And up to now, you haven't made any effort to have that road fixed. The students attending the Tucker Clark Primary School are stumbling as they walk on that road. Also, many elderly persons who amble that street to get to the health center are in fear of stumbling and falling. The drivers are complaining as well about the bad road, as you seem not to care because you done win. But if you think it's a so you go, just wet your hand and wait for us, the voters in East Bastia. You go back to the lines, caller. Thank you for holding it. You are live. Hello, caller.
Yes, sir. Good evening, lifesaver in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Ian Patrick Liburd. I giving you your honor because you deserve it. So don't tell me you want to be respected.
Just say humble servant. Just humble servant.
Okay. Hey, Patrick, let me say good night to all the listeners on this program, and a special good night to XSSO and Dimples and the lady in New York from right over here in Atlas, and Sidewine and everyone else. Can't remember the name of my good brother there, but all who does leg a punch on your program to try to knock out those political, criminal, greedy people who say they're running the country. I want to say thanks to them. And I love the quotation from the lady tonight. That is short and sweet and powerful. And she saw it coming because that is what's happening around here in St. Kitts. The people are showing that they're afraid of the government. We are
its CEO that give the government a job. The government did not go to one CEO and sign and said, okay, you're received as an employee. We are the CEOs of them. We're not supposed to fear them. If they turn with 3 persons because the person speak their mind, then the whole country is supposed to hit the road on the street, protest against them. So them boy know we have the powers that are you. And all you going in there operating like dictators. That's what they are. Mashing up the country. It seems like it doesn't matter what we say on the radio by talking. They're just laughing. Because they see, well, then nobody got the foot in the fire. And so they could do what they want. Because nobody can come up and face them and say, listen, you all need to come out to India. Because you are gone in illegal. And we're not going to afraid you. We're not going to stop until you come down. Come out to India, man. The country's not yours. You're doing a lot of damage. You cause a lot of poor people to turn to other negative alternative to survive. With your worthlessly take me $500. So you're going to build it up to 15. And up to now, no 15 come. And the 5 reduce. And you're going up and down the place. Up and down the place on plane. With all those things you said is to come. You forget one. You ain't talking about the plane joyride where you're going everywhere. Everywhere you're going from plane, that is to come. And you could try your best to see how popular you could get back. You can't get no popular, more popular than where you are, because you're not popular. You know, if a son of his thing in Panipo, he send it pan all the media them to make news. Like he's something good. You're not good, you don't love people. You're laughing after people. Look what you do to the country. Destroy the country. Now you want to come talk about you could try certain cases without jurors, dictators. Right now, I'm working on some song because I'm going to do my input them different these times. You see, because I just talking and nothing doing. Nothing doing. Thursday coming if I live, I'm going to sing something about the Mr. Bradshaw House. But for now, let me say this here. Well, she killed 2 innocent men, and now the blood on she hand. When she realized the job is done, she takes she jumping donkey and run. Then she tell one the dead man friend, do not make her blue, because if you was a smart of them, I will kill you too. I will come back to them, man. I'm just working on it since the program start. I get them worded together since the program start. But Patrick, we need to be brave. We need to be brave. It's 26 months now since India doing wrong things. From the moment they say he is Prime Minister, he start wrong, mash up everything. And this country here was going good. And only fools will join with fools to mash up a country. Look where the snake is now. Look where the snake from Nevis is now. He don't mash up the country and he feel good and he can't get it. He feel share where you are with. And he ain't gonna get it. Because Jew, see what he do to Timothy. And Jew ain't gonna let you outsmart him. So he could go all the way going with Japan boy can wave. He ain't gonna get it. I'll come back, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My dear brother.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah, sorry. Let me say this here before I go. Now, you see what you read out there tonight? That the police went wherever they went and they find ammunition and gun and cocaine, but the ammunition and the gun come out, but the cocaine ain't come out. So how can we trust those who are signed, who are given a job to protect us? We are not safe with them. When they find a car with 2 little cocaine thing in it and a gun and couple bullet, they hold the gun and the couple bullet and lock up the person and they got away, they go say they find this and that in car. Well, what happened to them? Polygraph? The whole police force need polygraph. I'll come back, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Street Dog family. To my overseas listeners were perhaps trying to get me. I wanted to try this number instead. 954 325 7170. That's 954 325 7170. Because the other number seemed to be, well, I seem to be having some difficulties here with my overseas lines, but they all seem to be the same. But my Straight Talk family, it's 9:53, and we got off to a little tardy start tonight, so we'll perhaps go till about 15 after the 10 o'clock hour, if you can still tolerate the program. And like I said, let's see if we can try this number, 954 325 7170. Let's see if it's any difference with the numbers. It's again, seems to be having some difficulties with both overseas lines here, my Straight Talk family, and I really do apologize for that. Good night, Patches reads this email, and I don't know why my overseas lines just seem to be messing up. Don't you realize that anyone that do not comply with Dr. Drew's wishes, he fires them? Who will be next? Another thing, every time he's about to lie, beg your pardon, or counterattack what's supposed to be right, he rubs under his nose. However, fortunately or unfortunately for him, his nose does get long like Pinocchio, but he gets more and more gray and ashy. Taking on a country's affairs ain't no easy walk over. And if he can't take the heat in the kitchen, he just better get out, and get out now before it's too late. Why don't he give the position back to Dr. Douglas or Dr. Harris? Even the cookie jar ain't seemed to be safe in no one's hand, it seems, as if power has gone to his head and not wisdom that comes from God. If you ask of it from him, no one investing, and the ship begins to sink, for the captain keeps doing as he likes, that even his crew members doing as they like, as well as others are seeking a one-term government, and who knows, elections might be called as early as 2025. I am not voting, as I have been disappointed in all my leaders so far. And really and truly, the country needs fresh blood, fresh and new leadership. Perhaps it's time for woman power. One never knows. Reads this email. Patches, are so ashamed to say this. My mother, who you can tell nothing about what July doing wrong. Today she called me, and boy, only now I see what people talking about. I went town today and I shame like a dog how dead town looks. People not tell no lie. Things bad boy. I feel sorry for Jew. Reads this email. Hi Patches, laugh out loud. Everything is on the way. But where would they be held? Courts, and that is surely not on the way. The magistrate court was out of the limo building because it was said that there the building was filled with mold. And the government rented the Amris building around Fortlands. And hear this. It is now said that the Amris building, where they discovered that there is now a mold problem. They were so smart When they moved to the Army's building, they carried the same furniture, and the furniture was all holding mold. And they took mold with them, and now they are in a one mold problem again. Problems for the courts again. And it would appear as though they would be moving into the sea, this time to try cases. I extend my sympathy to the entire staff at the courthouse, a concerned citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis. Patches? Okay, I think I read that before about your mother. Yes, my straight dog family, it's just about 2 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. You may have joined me late, although I myself started late, and I apologize for that. But tonight's thesis, we looked at, and I titled the thesis, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians cannot be wrong, my straight dog family. Let's go to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Mr. Liburd,
my dear.
when you will be talking about the snake, I'm waiting.
I should have done that program tonight, but Monday. But we will. I promise you that I'll be doing a program dedicated to Nevis. Yes, and thanks for the reminder. I normally keep my promises, but I'll let my listeners know ahead of time when we will discuss Nevis. My straight talk family, things are not well in St. Kitts and Nevis. The future of our country is at stake, but it is in our hands. And we must expend every effort to protect the future for our children, our grandchildren, and their children. I said the wrong things are going down. The right things are going up. Or I should say the wrong things are going up. And the right things are going down. Yes, the negative trends are increasing while positive outcomes are declining. Crime rates are rising. Cost of living is increasing. Food prices are increasing. And other negative societal indicators. Issues such as violence and or poverty that should be decreasing are instead worsening. Positive factors such as public safety, economic stability, or access to essential services are diminishing. Instead of improvements in quality of life, society is experiencing a decline in these crucial areas, my straight dog family. And that is concerning to us. Inadequate agricultural policies and inflationary pressures must be addressed through strategic investments in local agriculture and support for vulnerable communities. The rising cost of food is not merely an economic issue, but, my straight dog family, a social one, directly impacting the quality of life for all of us. But it's the economic instability that occupies the minds of people most, the Straight Dog family. And when I started tonight, I started from the premise, my Straight Dog family, of 50,000. Everything, as I said, seemed to be in the 50,000s. And like I said, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. Just can't be wrong, my Straight Dog family. Businesses are closing. The economy is dead, and jobs are not available, my Straight Dog family. And for those who joined me late, I refer to the distrust of the pronouncements of our current leaders in government. This distrust is so widespread that it's unbelievable. It's endemic. The distrust is widespread amongst the population of St. Kitts and Nevis. That is well over 50,000, a Straight Dog family. And the exact population from the last census was reported by the cabinet secretary, who told us this, my Straight Dog family.
The enumerated population of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis for 2022 is 51,320 persons, marking an 8.7% increase over the 2011 census count of 47,195 persons. This reflects an increase of 4,125 persons over the 11-year period, averaging an annual increase of 0.76% during the intercensal period. The island of St. Kitts is home to 38,138 persons, accounting for 74% of the federal population, while Nevis, with 13,182 persons, comprises the remaining 26%.
A population, my Straight Dog family, of 51,320. And this only considers those of us living here in the Federation who were enumerated. And we recently learned that more than 50,000 passports, according to July, were sold under our CBI program. July said this, my Straight Dog family.
Speaker, I can say we are over 50,000 of passports issued. The number of passports issued is possibly as much as the population at this particular time, or could be a little higher. You have to tell the truth. The people deserve to know the truth. It is a hard truth, but it is the truth. The mismanagement of the program has seen us today have more citizens, very likely more citizens by investment in our own population here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And my Straight Dog family, as if we are stuck in the 50,000s. Because strange but true, the former supervisor of elections, Elwin Bailey, announced that 50,933 persons were registered to vote in 2022. My Straight Dog family, he said this.
The voters list, therefore, as currently configured, contains 38,015 voters in St. Kitts. That's 38015 voters in St. Kitts, and 12,000 918 voters in Nevis. That's 12918 for a total of 50,933 voters. That's 50933.
Make sure you have absorbed those statistics, my straight dog family. A population 51,320 persons. Registered voters 50,933 persons. And July said he told the truth. Over 50,000 passports issued under our CBI program. Caller, you're live.
Yeah. 51,000 Kittitians-Nevisians cannot be wrong.
No.
No. No, Patches, please. I know you know better because all of us in the classroom, we depend on you to teach us the things that we don't know. And you're not afraid of nobody. And you have fear. I don't care who say, you say. Anyone of them attack you, and I hear them are going after them because they need to go and attack those who are spreading propaganda and doing negative things to the country, doing wrong and calling wrong right, and calling right wrong. Let them go attack them. Don't attack you. And if they want to see what's going on wrong and right, come into St. Kitts, we have server. You are come in here and look around, and then you will go back with a different picture in mind. Look at that king lawyer who get he training in Cuba and then get dictator lesson from Russia, and then he went up somewhere up by China, go get money to buy the election for Labour. And every time he open his mouth and talk, grinning, laughing like somebody give him a joke. It got to be that he laughing after the people. He's saying, look at me, I doing all of these things you're wrong, and all you can't make me stop. Yeah, you can't make me. That's why he laughing. And that's why people supposed to get serious. Every time they get a chance, tell him, look, the people ask for you to come out, step down, come out. Come out of government. You do not know what you're doing. You bankrupt the country. And too much of pressure was on you when you went to talk, but you're going to take leave. Too much of pressure because you don't know what you do. You drown the country. And now you want to take haul and scrape and scrub from every corner where you see you could get 50 cents to run the country. Why are you giving people use people's service? They must pay for it. Now they're going to tell NHC. Tell the people, them, go pay up, NHC, go pay up. No government ever charges the house owners, them must go pay up no way. They all, and when they go to pay them, they let them know, hey, your payment is dormant and you have to step up. But when you got to ask people to go pay, that means you're looking money to run the country and you don't want to say you don't know what you're doing. You're mashing it up. Everything that is bad, you're doing it. You just gone in there less than 6 months, you don't take 33% increase and you don't work yet. You don't work yet and you put poor people to starve. And now you come in, so you want to pass all kind of bill from people who pay tax and pay this. You had the school to build, and through politics, you refuse to build the school. Move them up there, and no problem was up there. Now you can't go up with the old grammar school building, and you want to say you're doing something. You want to give people the impression that you're doing something, but you're not doing anything. Okay. People all over the world just call us and ask us what really going on. They can't believe what they've been hearing and seeing in this country under this Mickey Mouse government. All you're doing taxing people, and you yourself you show a big example. Look at your Attorney General.
Okay.
Look what he do. Refuse to comply with the rules and regulations of the Social Security, and he right up under you. So what we expect? You're just like some of them people who people cannot trust. The whole government And all those people who we cannot trust, all I need polygraph. Okay. Polygraph, and how far you're going to fail. Okay. You don't fail. Thank you, Patrice.
Thank you very much for your intervention. Patrice, good night. Read this email. I was approached by a family member of a nurse who for 5 years has been victimized, working in an unsafe environment, psychologically draining environment. The nurse has experienced 1, denial of vacation, denial of promotion, withholding of appointment, multiple transfers without reason, threats to make her life a living hell, labeled as incompetent, and much more. Patches a nurse with a BSc degree in public health and a graduated top of her nursing programs is being attacked because of jealous and malicious individuals such as Dr. Iles, nurse, Irish nurse, Hazel, and Millington worse. This is just a synopsis, but it's a horrible situation. This nurse is being ill-treated and labeled as incompetent. Yet the government has untrained Cuban nurses who, for the past 10 years, only did dressings and took vital signs and are now in charge of health centers throughout the island. These same nurses were taken to CFBC to become trained midwives, and the program had to be closed down because of the inability to function. Healthcare is in the ICU, and I will provide more details in regards to this nurse's case, but please don't call these names, no? Because I won't read them, I can't confirm them. Good evening, Mr. Liburd. A new name for the snake is the blue donkey. He don't have any money. Things so bad that some of the public works workers were to be sent home because there is no money. But July stepped in and had them sent to St. Kitts. That's why they are here in St. Kitts working. The roads in Nevis need to be repaired, and the Nevis Public Works equipment and workers are in St. Kitts. That's history. Not even under unity we saw that. Read this email. Patches, you must investigate name being called at the Treasury Building, who currently occupies 3 parking spaces for him alone. He denied individuals who had parked in these spaces for years the opportunity to park there because while renovating the Treasury Building, the cars of individuals were painted. He became upset because the owners of the parked vehicles complained about the paint on their cars. For 2 months, orange cones have been placed in these empty parking spaces all day as instructed. The parking spaces are for his wife and personal secretary when and if they feel like parking there. These are not reserved spaces but public parking. Patches, the man in charge of the entire Treasury Building, but after receiving funds only renovated the 2 floors. He demolished the building beside it and provided parking space for his preferred staff. But why did he only renovate 2 floors? And why his company contracted to do the work on the building he is in charge of? Patches, there is more to this story. I will be back, but please don't call these names. I won't read them because I cannot verify the things you are saying. But please, let us refrain from calling names. My Straight Talk family, I want to apologize as I conclude to my overseas listeners who my overseas line just seemed to be down. Why is it down? I don't know. We checked these lines before we got on the air. But I do apologize for those in the diaspora who are no doubt would have been trying to call all night. I do apologize for that. But as we wind down, my Straight Talk family, we provide you with the statistics. And if we take a poll on St. Kitts Nevis today, one thing will be confirmed, I'm sure. that people from all walks of life and from all generations will sing one chorus. Under this July Labour government, things are hard. Some will even go further and confess that it's the worst they have experienced in this country in the entire lifetime. For single mothers, it's tough. Some citizens have already become afraid to grow old under this July administration. As a common cry among seniors is life is not easy. Some children have left school and do not have a clue how they performed. I understand the results have not come. I haven't confirmed that. But a slow student ought to provide or give a public broadcast as to what obtained during the May to June 2024 examinations. My Straight Talk family, it's like everything that can go wrong is going wrong in St. Kitts and Nevis. What should be going down is going up. And what should be going up is going down. Everyone is crying out for help, my Straight Talk family. There's one refrain. Things are bad under Dr. July. Well, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong, my Straight Talk family. The July Labour government, instead of finding some kind of stimulus for the economy that would give businesses a lifeline and help to create jobs, uses its financial arm, or one of its financial arms, to kill the very businesses the country needs to survive. My Straight Talk family, our country is also divided. And the vision of our leaders are miles apart, with those in office continuing to slice and dice Kittitians and Nevisians, my Straight Talk family. As we wind down, my Straight Talk family, the grave missteps of the July government over the past 26 months or more have created a sudden decline in our economy and an attendant decline in the standard of living for all of us here in St. Kitts and Nevis. One would think that investors that he said were waiting on labor would have already helped to create the much needed jobs within the economy. But instead of improving the lives or trying to improve the lives of citizens through sustainable development, what he prescribed for 2 weeks was a Coney Island pill, my Straight Talk family. We have an inefficient, dishonest, and corrupt administration that lacks transparency and accountability. They're not worthy to be called government, my Straight Talk family, or honorable. And my Straight Talk family, poor decisions are being made by this government. The incompetence of the so-called engineer, Congress, and by extension, July and his entire cabinet has cost the government millions of dollars that is not available in the treasury. My Straight Talk family, as we wrap tonight's programming, we have an incumbent administration that has been in office for over 2 years. Yet we cannot identify a clear policy direction of its leadership. These are difficult times, my Straight Talk family. And there seems to be no hope in sight under this incompetent, corrupt administration that is not accountable and lacks integrity and transparency. And my Straight Talk family, they are overwhelmed. And that was a confession from right within their camp. Leadership, they said, at times is heavy. And leadership can be overwhelming, was the cry.
Sometimes the responsibilities of leadership can be heavy. A lot of times, if I can be completely transparent, the responsibilities of leadership sometimes can be overwhelming. It can be heavy. And sometimes you question, yes.
But these are the times of national distress, when we need effective leadership. My Straight Talk family, the rule of law, we expect that justice must be perceived as equitable and impartial, addressing systemic corruption and ensuring that all citizens are held to the same standards. A Straight Talk family is essential for restoring faith in the government institutions. Well, my overseas line has worked, and I'm winding down. Caller, you got through, but I can't give you too much time. You're live.
Yeah, Patches, man. How you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, I'm peaceful. I'm surprised I got this call now. The program is winding down. My line was down.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all.
But good to hear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This was just a test, man, but a late test.
Yes, it came up pretty late, but that's good. You're on.
Nice to see you survive all them bumpers last week, man. What happened? You went down to bat without your helmet, man. But when the bouncers started coming, you had to request the helmet from the pavilion. But nice to see you survive, man.
You came from a quick in the family, What you have to do is keep your eyes on the ball.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep your eyes on the ball.
But quick question. Yeah, definitely. You gotta watch that ball all the way through, man. When it's outside the off stump, you just let it go by, man.
Yes.
Then you dispatch the bad balls. Mm-hmm. But anyway, man, the equipment that came in for the housing scheme, those equipment came from overseas, man, and all their equipment. And why, if they came from overseas?
Yes, they brought the equipment. Yes.
I mean, why are they not going to employ the local heavy-duty operators?
Well, I don't know if they brought operators, but they brought the equipment. I don't know if that,
okay, well,
that's something we can find out.
Yeah, definitely. And just remember, man, they gotta make sure some of that money get pumped into the local economy.
Yes,
to the local, local construction workers. You're gonna monitor that situation.
He promised
because
that,
they're way off. Yeah, they're way off schedule. So let's see how they're gonna get caught up.
Right.
Yeah, and someone also recommended that they think that the hospital, the smart hospital, might not be a good move. One of a friend of mine,
well,
he came up with that scenario. That's that 150 mil. I'm just hoping if they do start that hospital, it get completed, because if that hospital ever gets started and don't get completed, we will see it will be a waste of money. Mm-hmm. My friend told me he thinks that they should have definitely tried to improve and add on, have different add-ons to the existing hospital,
yes,
which kind of makes sense. We see that happen all the time in the USA.
True.
You know, he has witnessed a project in his local town, you know, where they just, you know, add on whatever departments or, you know, additional services they want for the existing hospital to improve it. And I very much agree with that, because that big hospital, I don't know if the think it's, if they could manage that, man, if they could handle that type of project. And with all the big projects that they're talking about, that's going to pull so much money, you know what I mean? I can't see how these guys are going to really manage that money and sustain these projects. I can't really see that. You know, these politicians, me personally, I feel like they're taking the people for a ride. And the people just got to get the courage to go in the street and protest peacefully. Whenever there's anything that they don't agree with, they're dissatisfied, they should go in the street and really let their presence be felt. But that's it for tonight, man. And, you know, we'll look out for you Thursday night. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for your intervention, as usual. And I'm happy that that phone actually started working just as we were wrapping my Straight Talk family. But that hospital, we haven't heard the bed capacity for the hospital. Unofficially, I've heard it's 65 rooms. But that hospital, is, as I said, is for the rich and for the animals. They signed an MOU with the vet school, the Ross University veterinary school. So this hospital is not for the poor and ordinary people like you and I. But 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. But it has been proven that it is this incompetent bunch of self-proclaimed experts that have caused all the problems we are facing. Investors waited for them. Where are the investors? My Straight Talk family. As you said, as I said, Brian Singh is back on the scene. He brought his equipment. Let's see if he'll hire local operators. My Straight Talk family, the way forward requires a comprehensive strategy that addresses the underlying issues contributing to what I call the national quandary. Leaders must prioritize economic stability, public safety, and justice reform while fostering open dialogue with citizens, my Straight Talk family. We need to rebuild trust and move towards a more equitable future. And those of you in the diaspora, you're not escaping Lucifer. But under the leadership of Dr. July, we are on the wrong road. And if we want to progress, then we must make an about turn and get back on the right road. Get rid of them, as we said. There's a sense of frustration with the state of affairs in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a misalignment between what should ideally improve and what is actually happening, my Straight Talk family. I know that many of you are suffering from buyer's remorse and regret that you voted for this July government. But this is not the time to be sorry. It's the time to be proactive. And as my caller who provided a quotation said, people must not be afraid of government. Government should be afraid of the people. My Straight Talk family, 50,000 Kittitians-Nevisians can't be wrong. And that's my story tonight, and I am not going to change it. But I want to thank Almighty God. I gave back the time and more, because I started late, for which I apologize. We had a technical difficulty in the very phones we were trying to fix. But I thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I thank you the many listeners, those of you who called, and those of you who sent emails. I apologize for that overseas line that was down, my Straight Talk family. But I want you to remember that you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And I want to also remind those who were asking for a facility by which you can donate to the program. We have now provided it. It's on your screen. Just scan to donate. We will welcome your support, my Straight Dog family. But whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday, be good to all whom you meet. And be good yourself. Keep moving on. My Straight Talk family. Bye-bye.
For taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food.